You know, in the hyper-competitive world of pharmaceuticals, you have to wonder, how does a company not just survive, but actually thrive? Well, today, we're going to break down the success story of Supriya Lifescience. We're going to look at their formula for some pretty explosive growth and what their roadmap for the future looks like. Let's get right into it.
So yeah, this is really the big question we're tackling today. I mean, the pharma industry is notoriously tough. We're talking high stakes, fierce competition, and a whole web of regulations. So we're going to use Supriya Life Sciences as a kind of case study to see what it really takes, not just to compete, but to win.
All right, first things first. Before we dive deep, let's get a quick snapshot of who we're actually talking about. Who is Supriya Life Science? What's their deal?
So at its core, Supriya makes what are called active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs. Think of these as the essential powerhouse part of any medicine, the bit that actually does the work. And their reach? It's huge. We're talking a footprint in over 86 countries, serving more than 1,500 customers. And they're backed by 12 major international accreditations. Now that last part is really important. It's basically their global stamp of quality and trust.
And they are not shy about their ambitions. The company has set this incredibly bold target to hit 1,000 crore rupees in revenue by the 2026-27 financial year. Now, this isn't just some number they pulled out of thin air, it's a real statement of intent, and it shapes their entire strategy, which we're going to get into in just a bit. Ambition is one thing, but you've got to have the performance to back it up, right? So let's take a look at the hard numbers and see how they've actually been doing. And wow, this chart really shows their momentum. Just look at that jump in revenue. They went from 570 crore to nearly 700 crore in a single year. That's a 22% jump. That's not just steady progress, folks. That is some serious acceleration.
Okay, but here's what's really crucial. It's not just about how much money they're making, but how efficiently they're making it. This number here, 24.28% return on capital employed, tells us they are incredibly good at using their money to make more money. They're getting a fantastic bang for their buck.
And here's another powerhouse metric for you, an EBITDA margin of almost 39%. To put that in perspective, that is one of the highest in the entire Indian pharmaceutical sector. Now, this isn't just some fancy number. It points to a company that has absolutely mastered its operations, from getting raw materials to managing production costs with just incredible discipline. It's a huge sign of just how efficient and profitable they are.
Okay, so the performance is clearly there. It's strong. But how do they plan to keep this train rolling? Let's take a look at their blueprint for the future.
So their strategy is actually pretty straightforward, but it's really powerful. It breaks down into three main parts. First up, capacity creation. Simply put, they're building bigger and better facilities so they can make more stuff. Second, market diversification. They're pushing into new countries and really digging in deeper in those tough, highly regulated markets like Europe. And third, new product development. Their R&D team is laser-focused on creating the next big blockbuster drugs.
And listen, this isn't just corporate jargon. This quote from the managing director, you can feel the conviction in it. Calling their expansion a game changer tells you they see this as a massive turning point for the company, a move that's going to push them into a whole different league. And this chart right here, it's the perfect picture of that market diversification strategy in action. You can see they've got a really healthy spread of business. Sure, Europe is their biggest market at about 37%, but look at Latin America. That's a huge chunk too. This kind of global footprint makes them way more resilient. They're not too dependent on any one part of the world. Okay, but a company's story isn't just about the numbers on a balance sheet. I mean, true, lasting success comes from creating value for everyone involved. So why does what Supriya is doing matter beyond just the bottom line? This is where the story gets really compelling. It matters because their whole philosophy is built around sustainable growth. This isn't just some add-on or an afterthought. Environmental responsibility is baked right into how they operate. And in an industry that's often under the microscope for its environmental impact, this is huge. It's not just good PR, it's smart business for the long haul. They're doing everything from reducing waste to investing in renewable energy like solar power. And this slide really captures that big picture approach to value. It's not just about the shareholders, even though they're doing great. It's about the value they deliver to everyone. This table shows a company that gets that its success is tied to the well-being of its customers, its employees, and the communities it's a part of, from the products they sell to the salaries they pay and the money they put back into local projects. And you can see that community spending is having a real impact. It's not just a number on a spreadsheet. On the left, they're helping with digital empowerment, setting up computer labs for schools. And on the right, they're helping with wildlife conservation. They actually donated a patrolling vehicle to the Sanjay Gandhi National Park. It's this kind of real, tangible commitment that completes the picture of a company truly building for a sustainable future.
So they've got a strong track record and a super clear vision. So what does the future hold? Let's take a quick look at the road ahead.
The bottom line is, the outlook is strong. The company is really set up for some serious growth. All the key pieces are in place. Their manufacturing capacity is growing, they're gaining ground in new global markets, and their R&D team is building a pipeline of future products. The engine is built, and it's basically ready to hit the accelerator.
But that brings us to our final and maybe most crucial question, because growth on this scale brings a whole new set of challenges. As Supriya becomes a bigger and bigger player on the world stage, its greatest test is going to be navigating the constantly shifting maze of international trade, tariffs, and regulations. How they handle that? Well, that's what will ultimately define the next chapter of their success story.